Hello and welcome. My name's Emily Baker and I'm the creator of the Perceptionary cards. These are slightly different to your oracle cards or to tarot cards. In fact, they're not tarot cards, nor are they oracle cards. These are cards that I've created so that people can continue to expand on their imagination and also just on their intuition as well. So you just trust by what you see in the colours and any shapes and symbology that you get to see. These are what they look like. And if you've been following me, you would notice what I tend to do, which is what I'm doing now, is to shuffle a card, and then I'm going to take a card, and then we're going to have a look to see what it is for the month of November. And I hope that you've all had a great Halloween, fantastic Halloween. Hopefully it hasn't been rained off. I mean, I know we've been having a lot of rain and we're due for a little bit more rain, I think. But we're just going to need to hunker down this winter. I think it's going to be a long one, but there we go. At the end of the day, the sun will come out. As Annie says in her little musical, tomorrow, the sun will come out tomorrow. Right, anyway, moving swiftly on. Nearly went into song, but we're not going to do that because we're going to pick a card for November. Now, for November, obviously, we're coming up to that season where we've got a lot of light festivals, actually. Don't forget, in the UK, we have Bonfire Night on the 5th. Remember that the Houses of Parliament didn't blow up, but nearly did. And then we have a penny for the guy for the bonfire, and that was for Guy Fawkes. Okay, so that's where that one comes from if you're listening overseas. And I know if you're in America, I think you're quite controlled about your fireworks, which I've never kind of got my head around because you're not really all that controlled about guns. But, well, you are actually in certain states, you're very controlled about guns. But with fireworks, you're super, super controlled about those. Here, we're the complete opposite. Okay, you can go into your supermarket and start to buy fireworks. Yes, you do need some ID actually as well. So yeah, they have started to put in rules for that. Anyway, I've picked a card. We're moving on. But yes, we have festivals such as Diwali coming up as well, which is all about the Festival of Light as well. And I'm quite sure there's many others that I just don't know of. So if there are festivals of light coming up around you, celebrate them. Like I said to somebody recently, it's time for me to get my twinklies out, my little twinkly lights. Okay, so here we go. Don't know what I picked, but there we go. Oh no, how autumn is that? Oh my gosh. Right, in fact, I'm just going to keep it this way. I'm not even going to move it around at all. And, oh God, I love it. Do you know, I remember making this card and I remember looking at it and going, it's just a brown mess and I'm not going to add it. It's a huge mistake when I made this card, and I thought, oh God, no, it's not a mistake. But actually, what I'm getting to see in it, it's not a mistake at all. Okay, so this is the way around it's going to be, but just to show you, you can have it any which way around. I'm just going to turn it. All right, so it could go around that way. Actually, that's quite interesting. Yeah, it's quite an interesting way. That too is really interesting. So we're looking at the colours and what images we're going to see, but I thought, you know, this kind of looks like a cockerel's head there. Okay. Oh, and that looks like a squirrel with a fluffy tail there as well. So yeah, okay. A cockerel and a squirrel facing each other off. Okay, fair enough. Actually, that's quite nice. Quite like that. I love the red along up here. That's really quite nice. And that's the beauty. If you're wanting to get your own pack of cards, you can do. Look at the link below and you can get your own pack, okay? And it takes you straight there to my shop. And the postage and packaging is all included. All right, so you don't have to pay extra. All right, so we're going to have it this way round. And I don't normally go straight away for the way that it's come through, but that's, you know, I do like to have a look around. Now, straight away before anything else, what I could see was one person here, one person here. This is much more of an angelic person, and I can see the wings. And this is another person. And this person is being held and supported by these two sides. Now, okay, here's one interpretation. You can have a look at it. This could be seen as the more darker side of things. And yes, the dark side does need to come through, and we do need to acknowledge that we all have a dark side. None of us is pure and light and loving all of the time. It's just so much hard work. Both are hard work to be that all of the time. So this side is to acknowledge there is a darker side to us, and to acknowledge that, yes, actually, sometimes it does come through. This side here is very much more the angelic, the lighter side, if you like. That is the care. Both actually can be caring and nurturing. Just, you have to think about it. Sometimes this side is much more protective. Okay? It will do things to protect us. This is where we are. This is us. And this one here, the angelic, is kind of like, okay, yes, we can see the good in everything and be the good. But that too is also being supportive. It's a lovely guy. Do you know what? I have, when did I make these cards? Quite a number of years ago, before lockdown. So we are looking at about 4 or 5 years now at this set of cards. So, you know, I am looking at this and kind of going, gosh, it's very much an angelic card. It is very much a card that is supportive. It is a card that is going to hold you up. This is going to be a card that's nurturing. So when I look at that, I'm kind of going, gosh, November, actually, yes, there will be the dark elements because there's things that we just don't like. We perhaps don't like the dark itself. There will be elements when we are angry at people and kind of go, well, maybe that's the dark side coming through of yourself, of, you know, where there is confrontation. And maybe that's the case of that you're needing to say what needs to come out. Now, if I just pull the card a little bit closer, you're going to see there's a spiral there, like a double helix, the spine of it all. And this both, sorry, I've got really itchy nose. It's almost as someone's playing with my nose, sorry. But this, and again, when I pull it a little bit closer, I don't see this figure as being nasty. I actually see it as an almost kind of like an elderly person, just kind of doing the caring and the nurturing. Again, this is kind of, I see that as a woman and that as a woman, because I can see the hat there, the little bonnet, and that much more, if you want to say, asexual being, angelic. But for me, that feels very feminine. And so there is a very kind of a case of being very supportive. It's a beautiful card. I've really underestimated it for a number of years. I've underestimated this card. Okay, so let's have a look at what else. I do feel as though there's going to be learning coming up, okay? And we're going to be needing to use our wisdom, but it may be the wisdom of others. So we need to listen, okay? Now is a beautiful time to start listening because there is that change going on. Autumn is about changes coming through. And I was speaking to somebody yesterday and we were talking about, you know, when you do go through a massive change in life, you haven't developed into that butterfly, and nor are you at that stage of being the caterpillar anymore. You're in the pupae of it all. So when you're in the pupae, everything goes into liquefaction. All right, so it becomes like liquid. So please don't cut up a cocoon, all right, because that's actually what's happening. But it's completely being transformed. And for some people, that transformation is huge, absolutely huge. So having this card come through, if you are going through that transformational stage, and I believe that we all are actually, we're all going through a transformational stage, understand that we're being nourished and looked after and cared for. And we will find that wisdom to come out to being whatever we need to be, okay? And whatever we should be, and whatever we want to be. All of those things to be manifested in this month. And I do actually feel that this will actually be a progressive one. It won't be overnight. It's not going to be an overnight status. It's going to be one where it is a case of that you're suddenly looking at something and going, oh my God, that's done. And I'm here. I'm suddenly here. But that will feel quite sudden because it will feel like you're doing nothing. You'll feel like you're stagnating. You'll feel like you're really, really grounded. I mean, look at the grounding colours on this. You'll feel like you're stuck in the mud. But actually, you're needing that to really understand what it is that you're wanting and to being as well. So it is important. So we've got all of this going on around here as well. And it's this part here. Now, actually, I've just seen... Have you seen this? Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh my giddy aunt. I'm even excited by this. Right. Okay. If you see this, have a look. It looks like a Eastern, not Middle East, Middle Eastern, Indian, Tibetan, kind of a goddess sitting there. You know, one of those figurines with the pointy hat and things. So it could be Indian, it could be Thai, it could be Buddhist, it could be whatever. Do you know what I mean? Malayan. Malayan. I want to go Malayan. Singaporean, that kind of Chinese star. Look at that. The regalness. I can see even the earrings, the headpiece, the face here, really sharp, but looking outwards and kind of going, yes, that's where we want to be, but still sitting down. It's kind of like this is the inner part of us of kind of going, yes, okay, this is what I'm needing to be. Yes, I've got this in me. I've got the royalty in me. I've got the presence within me. And even to the lucky dog here. Oh my God, dogs are about companionship, okay? And leadership as well. And they are there about loyalty as well. So all of these qualities are within us. Okay, this is us. All of this is us. Oh my God, that's so exciting. Oh my God, it's just, for me, when I looked at suddenly seeing that there, because I was looking at it kind of going, there's nothing there. Well, you know, there's nothing there. And then suddenly that appears. That's what's wonderful about these cards. Things suddenly just do appear and you kind of go, oh my God. So yeah, so I do feel as though this is a fantastic card. And I feel as though November has the possibilities of being whatever. But more importantly, November is a time for you to really kind of understand that you're supported. Understand that you have loved ones around you. Understand that you have spiritual love around you. Understand, oh my gosh, there's so much understanding to go on. Understand that you may feel like you're stuck in the mud, but actually you're going through a transformation. And this is the time for you to recognize who you are, those qualities that you have already honed, or already got. What do you want to add on to that? What would you like to be? Perhaps you want to be the same. That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. And it may be a case of if you are wanting to be exactly the way you are, great. Have you picked up other stuff that you don't really want? And maybe that's the time to get rid as well. So yes, oh my gosh, I'm not going to even try to look at the other way around and see. I mean, the other way around, the only other way around that intrigued me was that way around, as well as the cockerel and the squirrel, obviously. And so even when I look at that, it's still lying down, it's still being supported. Look at the lovely kind of, when I look at this as the costume. So if I turn it around, look at the costume of this. Beautiful figurine, layers upon layers upon layers. Oh, beautiful. Gosh, if any of you like designing, that, yes, that would be beautiful. Some may say Miss Havisham. Now, the other way, I've just actually seen. Yes, I do. Right, so I'm just going to put that there because that's distracting me. But this can also be seen as a stairway. Okay, not just the spine, this double helix and stuff, but a stairway. Okay, now I always do this and I always am disappointed because I never get to see it. But I'm going to turn it around and get to see if I get to see that. No, I sort of do. Actually, I do. I do get to see the figure in the middle, and I do get to see the dog as well. Colours are different. They're much more vibrant on here as well. Okay. It's also my lighting in this room. So yeah, so there we go. Right, so yeah, what I loved about that, it was just, I felt cocooned. No, yeah, I felt supported, nurtured, cared for as well. This way round, with what I thought was a cockerel, doesn't look like a cockerel anymore. Okay, this what looked like a squirrel, doesn't look like a squirrel. And that's it, you see. That's what happens with these cards. They do. Oh no, I got to see the squirrel. There it is. That's it. I just suddenly saw a face up here. But yeah, so there's its head, ears. It's a red squirrel. Squirrel nutkins, if you like. Body, and there's the tail squishing around. Okay. So for me, squirrels are about having fun as well. You know, they're dashing around at this time of the year, filling themselves up, ready for the winter, ready for hibernating, ready to sleep through. So it is about gathering it all in, bringing it all in, okay? And it may be your knowledge, it may be things that you've been learning, and just kind of get it all together. You know, sometimes when we're learning things, we're a lot fragmented and we go, oh yeah, no, that's useful, that's useful. Well, okay, well, bring that in and use it. Bring that in and use that. And use the tools that you've learned throughout the year. Bring them all in. Now, I said this looked like I can't even say it, cockerel. Okay, over here. And yes, there is. But actually, the more I look at it, and I'm just going to pull it in. Gosh, this is a really regal card. Because what I'm seeing is, yes, I'm seeing a crown. But actually, it looks like an old king. Wise king, and there's a costume there looking down, and it is that case of the gratitude. Oh my gosh, you've done so much hard work. I know we're not finished yet. Okay, neither is the king's not finished yet. Yes, he's old, but he's using his wisdom, and yes, he's looking at it all and kind of going, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. But no, that's the king for you. That's where that one is, and wanting to kind of go, yeah, we've got it. We've got it. Let me bring it. And again, it's about harvesting it all in. We're still on this harvesting. We're still going through the process of bringing things in, crops. And now what we're looking at is, what have we brought in? That's what this king is doing. What are we going to do with it all? I'd like to go back to this one. Okay, what would you like to do with it? Okay. So have a think. This month is about thinking about what it is that you're wanting. Start to hone in for the forthcoming months. And yes, I know we've got a lot coming on our plate, and this will give us the energy as well. All right. Just take your time. Don't put the pressure on it. It has to be done tomorrow. It's not going to be done tomorrow. Don't think, oh my God, I'm going to have the answer by the end of the month. You may not have the answer by the end of the month either. All right, this is your time. This is your journey, not my journey, not your neighbor's journey, not your best friend's journey. This is your journey. All right, take the time, savor it, nourish it, look after it, have the gratitude for it, because we never know. Well, we kind of want to know what was going to happen. Of course we do. That's why I'm here doing this. But this is what this month is all about. This. And maybe you prefer the card this way around, and maybe you prefer the card this way around. Who knows? But anyway, have a look. Let me know in the comments below. Love to hear from you. Hope you've enjoyed this month. So there we go. Just pull it in a little bit for you. That's this month's card reading. Enjoy it, look after it, and I'll see you next month. Take care now. Bye-bye.